In this video, we're going to demonstrate how to correct dates that might be incorrect in the enrollment history of a student. We must start out by saying that this video should be used for training purposes only, that no real students or data will be shared, as this will be filmed from a training server, and any likeness to any real student is purely coincidental. So quite often we will have a student who will transfer from one district to the other, and the losing district maybe did not go in and adjust a date correctly or did not put the correct withdrawal date in there, and you notify them of that. And once they go in and correct it on their side, that correction does not populate to your district. Therefore, your district has to then update that data as well. And a lot of people wonder, how do I get into that re-enrollment, those previous enrollments, and update that, because when I try to on my side, I get an FTE error. Well, let me show you how to walk through that using DDA. If I go to Mickey Mouse right here, and I'm going to go to his school enrollment and enrollment history and just use this as an example, even though I don't have the data the way that I would need it to do the example. But let's say that I had just enrolled Mickey into my district, and the losing district didn't put the correct withdrawal date, so I'm being flagged as having an overlapping enrollment over in my state collections. And if this date needed to be edited, if you tried to just click on the E and go to the date, you wouldn't have the FTE value that the other district had to correct it, so you can't do it from this UI page. Instead, what we're going to do is actually go into DDA and go into the re-enrollments table. So everything in the student record that is up here in the current enrollment lives on the student table, but everything in the previous enrollment area lives in the re-enrollments table. And if it can't be adjusted in the UI by clicking on either the date or the code, then your only other option is to go into DDA to the re-enrollments table and correct that data. The question is, how do I filter that data down so that I'm only looking at this one student, Mickey Mouse, right here? So what you're going to need is the student ID. To find this number very quickly, you're going to come up here into academic records and go to the teacher comment page. When I'm on the teacher comment page, there's a little number that kind of hangs out down here at the bottom of the page. This is the student ID number. So 717. Now, we'll keep that number in mind, and I'm going to come back over here to school enrollment real quick. Enrollment history. So when I look, I want you to notice how many entries I have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 records of re-enrollments for this student. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to DDA. Now remember, only those with access and security have access to this page. So it's located under System Management and Data, but I love my quick search, so I'm going to go into quick search and search DDA. Find the page. And I've been playing with this, so let me just go back to looking at the entire page here. So the first thing you want to do when you come in here, you probably are landing on the students table. What you want to do is scroll until you find the re-enrollments table, table 18 right here. And then what you want to do is search. So remember, I have Mickey Mouse, who was student 717. I'm going to come into my drop down, and I'm going to go to student ID equals 717. And I'm going to say search all the records across my district for that one student. And it gives me the current records is 13, which is how many re-enrollment entries we saw on his enrollment history page. So I'm going to go into list view, or I could go into table view, either one of those. So there's list view. Here is table view. Personal preference, which one you want. So when I look, I see all 13 of those entries. So when I looked over there in that enrollment history, these are the same beginning, end dates, and all of the information. The only weird thing here is they're not in chronological order. Honestly, not sure why, but they're not. So you would need to know which one of these entry dates or exit dates you would need to adjust. So let's say that I needed to adjust that date that he was withdrawn from the previous district in the 2023 year. I would just need to find that withdrawal. So let's pretend that this was the record right here. If I find that date, I click on the student ID number for that specific record, and it basically gives me the guts of that one line that I saw in enrollment history. At this point, with your DDA access, if you needed to adjust and say, nope, they left that district on 6/28/2023, so that there's not an overlap with my entry date that came in, you can update it there, hit the submit button, and now your record will be corrected. So if I were to go back to Mickey Mouse and back to the enrollment history page, I should see, sure enough, that exit date for that record now says 6/28/2023. Hope this helps get your data a little cleaner.